back. After that big week of football, Charles, did you have a lot of fun? I know I had a lot of fun.
You bet your ass I had a lot of fun.
Bet your ass.
Oh, shit. How about them Bears?
Da Bears.
The Bears. Oh, my God. Hold on. I got to get situated now. For those who couldn't see the video, the cheese is back.
The cheese.
Cheese is back. And I also found 4K settings on my camera phone here. Not camera phone, but the camera on my computer.
Nice.
So this is exciting. You guys are getting to see me now in 4K. We got lots to talk about today, actually. Let's get off the horse. We're going to start right off. We'll just start right off here. Let me read a message from a really good friend of mine, and by friend, brother, Army brother. In the NFL, can an owner fine everyone on their team for being incompetent and not the dude on dude type? Because I would fine every player on the Bears. Oh my God.
They're eating themselves. Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out who the thought that Justin Fields was a better quarterback than Jordan Love.
I drafted his ass. So what the hell can I say? I can't say shit. I drank the fucking Kool-Aid, Charles.
Man.
I drank the fucking Kool-Aid. Hey, ESPN, those guys did me dirty. They freaking put out an entire week where they were just
and this morning.
Yep, exactly. Everybody was ragging.
Have you seen ESPN this morning?
Yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah, they're just bashing them.
Trash. And a couple of the people are like, listen, we can't knock him because the team didn't do anything for him. What the fuck are you talking about?
He drafted their number one pick was a freaking offensive lineman from Tennessee. The dude's a monster. They didn't do anything to fix their offensive line. They didn't do anything to fix that hell of a shithole defense that they have. That's what they didn't do.
In the words of Rex Ryan this morning, the Bears defense last year was closer to the 33rd ranked team in points given up than they were to the 31st ranked team in points given up, as they were the 32nd ranked team. And there's only 32 fucking teams in the NFL.
Rex Ryan is a fucking gem.
It was so funny.
He's just like full of it. I would love to get that guy on here. I'd love to pick his brain. I think it'd be funny.
He did take a shot at Sean Payton too, because Sean Payton didn't hire him, and that was funny too. You start the game with an onside kick. It tells your whole team that you don't trust them.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about, dude? That dude did that in the NFC Championship game and fucking won. So I'm just not sure what you're talking about here, Rexy.
Speaking of onside kicks, you know who's got big kicks to the balls?
Who's that?
Freaking man, the Lions got some big nuts. Their freaking coach, Campbell,
yeah.
He's got some freaking cojones. He will be the guy that's going to onside kick him when he's up by fucking 17 just to freaking put you away. He's going to be the guy that's going to try to put that dagger in there. Whether or not they're good enough to do it, that's a question.
I agree. If he saw something that made him believe they could,
he had to.
He has so much faith. He has so much faith in his football team that he did.
Right. That fourth down, when they went for it on the fake punt, that took some balls, because what were they on, like the 30, 34, 35-yard line, something like that, maybe the 37. Anyway,
the thought that was crossing my mind with that too. Do you trust your defense? Is that the ultimate I trust you call, or is that I don't trust you? Because when it came down to it, then the fucking defense didn't give up inches. Now, okay, dropped passes on the wide receiver. I get that, but that's the NFL. And as a Green Bay Packer fan, we've gone an entire season where I think we won 13 games we shouldn't have.
Yeah, very, very true.
So it's hard to knock. It's hard to knock them. But if you think the Lions won that game, you're crazy. Kansas City lost that game, and the Lions didn't do anything to lose that game. And that's my biggest takeaway from the Kansas City Lions game. is that these are not the Lions of old. There's much room for improvement on offense. We know that.
But here's the thing, I don't think Kelsey makes a difference in that game. I don't think he does. The way that they were doing it, because what it would have done is took more of an option away from
Kelsey just would have been covered, argue, and the other wide receivers were dropping the ball. That was I think, in my opinion, that was the big kicker, was the dropped passes. They just weren't there to play.
where Kansas City goes next week, right?
I've got it pulled up here.
Jets.
Yeah, I've got the schedule pulled up. We'll go over that too.
Yeah,
But anywho, not to take anything away from the Lions. They did great. It was an entertaining show. It was 27 million viewers tuned into Thursday Night Football. I think last year's Super Bowl hit 21.7 million. Opening day has a lot to do with that, but it's the Detroit Lions.
Right.
Nobody really watches opening day for the Detroit Lions. They did this time.
No, they watch the Thanksgiving game, Thanksgiving Day game because they have to, because it's the only game on.
Right.
At that
And I'm
slot.
fingers fucking crossed. It was, I don't know. I just saw the Michigan game and my mind went to the next Michigan thing. So I'm sorry. But anyways, fingers crossed that it was Kansas City viewership. Kansas City just won the fucking Super Bowl. They've got a huge following around the country. It's almost impossible at this point to go anywhere and not run into a Kansas City Chiefs fan. It wasn't like that in the early 2000s.
Bandwagon.
Definitely, but
bandwagon.
Fucking Patty Mahomes and Andy Reid have gotten the bandwaggers to enjoy a few Super Bowls.
That Heinz ketchup's getting you all those viewers,
fucking Heinz ketchup. I'm a Hunt's guy anyways. Fuck Heinz.
Is it Hunt's or is it Heinz that he's got?
No, I think he's Heinz. Yeah.
Is he Heinz?
Yeah. Patty. Yeah. Patty's
Patty.
Heinz.
Patty
yeah,
Heinz.
yeah. Honestly, Heinz is in my fridge too. Where do you even get a fucking bottle of Hunt's anymore?
I don't.
French's quit. I'm finding out now Heinz beat the fuck out of French's. French's is like, yo, let us make
yes, we had
too.
the great ketchup. Ketchup debate. Yes,
don't step on Heinz. That. I just said fuck Heinz. We might have to delete that because I might get shot. Heinz is like the new Clinton Foundation, I guess. I don't know, but French is going down quick, and they're a Pennsylvania-based company, right? Really? French isn't from France. Okay, no. Pennsylvania. Fuck. Use the internet. But anyways, yeah, Heinz destroyed French's.
Oh yeah, we got roasted on that Brock Purdy thing. Some the one comments on YouTube was that you guys didn't do a quick 8-second search to find out that Brady was the 199th pick and he wasn't picked in the 7th round. I go, dude, we corrected it when we posted it. We don't edit anything. Did you not?
Why would we correct anything when all of you take your personal time to Google search what we've said to fact check us? You guys do it for free. F that. That's fine by me.
We do it for free too. That's why we don't fucking look it up. If Charles and I were getting paid, if you and I were getting paid for this, we would put time and effort and money into looking everything up. This is off the top of our head. If we were getting
paid for this, bro, there'd be a tiny fucking voice in our ear going, yo, this is the stat. And then we go, hey, this is the fucking stat. That's how that shit works.
Charles,
inside this, there ain't no fucking Smurf. Ain't no goddamn little motherfucking fairy tale Tinkerbell up there telling me nothing.
Speaking of which, did you see Jamar Chase's comment?
Yeah.
We lost to some motherfucking ass
I'm
elves.
just super frustrated because I called them elves and we got our ass kicked by elves.
It's funny because Mandy said the same thing. What is that in the fucking center of the field? Is that elves? I said, I don't know. Cleveland's been around for 100 years. Who the hell knows what that little frickin' dude is?
I thought that they would go for some kind of dog, like a dog, not some fucking woodland fey fuck off creature. But hey, man,
it's fucking weird, but whatever, I guess.
You do what you do.
Yeah.
So we did start this right away, though, by talking about the Green Bay Packers, and I would love to get back to them real quick before we break into the next bunch of NFL. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about because we got college on the.
There's like 5 things that I can say about the Packer Bears game. 3 of them are positive, 2 of them are negative.
Yeah. So yips. I'm gonna chalk up a whole bunch of.
Go ahead. I had to pause it. Cat was
the cat. Anyways, so I think Green Bay could have dropped 50 on the Bears, to be honest with you. And now this is not the defense of your dad's Bears. I get that. This is not the fucking 1985 Bears, but
for God's sakes,
3 overpasses.
Yeah.
Or 2 overpasses and an underpass. I'm telling you, are touchdowns all day. So there's a lot to go on. There's a lot to work. Week 2, we get the Falcons at home. Now, weather depending, but I believe we are planning on tailgating that game, correctly?
I plan on
Correct.
being there. We'll figure that out between the two of us. We'll figure out what we're gonna do. I still trying to get a hold of Alexander and those guys, the Scotty boys, and
Okay.
see what they want to do if they want to get something together too.
So it's not set in stone, but this for our listeners out there that are catching this show, obviously before Sunday or the next
By,
one, which
by
will
next
probably have way more.
by next Sunday, because they're still on the road this Sunday. So by this Sunday, we will have a confirmed date whether or not we will be there.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And we're playing the Falcons,
The
who
Falcons.
looked pretty okay. I'm not too
Bijan
worried
didn't
about
look
it.
bad. Their
I
their
yeah,
passing game is absolutely terrible. Desmond Ritter does not look like he's ready for the NFL, but their run
no.
game, Bijan Robinson,
Bijan
Algiers.
Robinson looks like a fucking beast,
Oh, Algiers
bro.
was the guy that had 2 touchdowns though.
Yeah.
He's their number 1. So Bijan, he will be their number 1, but as of right now, he's their number 2.
Yeah, he's not going to get a lot this season, but the little bit, I'm telling you, I was watching some of that dude's cut moves. I was
Yeah.
watching some of what he was doing, and I hate agreeing with other analysts mostly because I am my own person, but Ryan Clark is fucking on point. I think that dude might be the next LT. And
Yeah.
that's exciting for my sports cards. Yeah, absolutely. The way he was cutting, the way he was bouncing, it was just unbelievable. So that might be a pretty good test. I don't think Atlanta's defense is going to give us too much of a problem. I think Jordan Love's going to pick apart Atlanta's defense again.
The number one thing that I was impressed by, I know this is gonna be one of your 5 points
Yeah.
too. I was more impressed by anything by the Packers defense.
Yes.
That defensive
They
line for Green Bay is freaking
Yeah.
dangerous.
Quay Walker took a minute to get himself out of last season, but man, that pick 6 of his, he just didn't quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Van Ness.
He
I
caught the
mean,
speed.
oh yeah, yeah,
Gary was in there
absolutely.
Gary was only playing third down passing
Yeah,
downs, and he came in there and hell, he almost had Stroud like the first 3 times he was in there. He had him by the freaking jersey twice, and he stripped the ball at one time that they called an incomplete pass.
yeah. I'm actually excited. The Green Bay's defense took the challenge. Joe Barry listened. Now, this might be my way too early hot take, but if Joe Barry keeps doing those blitzes and sending the pressure instead of just waiting for his guys to make a fucking play,
Right.
we might be in a situation here where we actually have a fucking defensive coordinator who's creating plays for his players and not hoping his players make plays. I'm excited.
It was pretty interesting to see Barry on the sidelines though with some energy and not like sitting there throwing the playbook up in the air going, what the hell did you do on
Yeah.
that play? He was celebrating with the players as they were coming off the field. He was doing the high fives and like players
He
were
was
making
being a
plays.
part of the team. And
Yeah, instead of
I
sitting in
think
the booth.
that's the biggest thing I've taken away from this Green Bay Packers squad week 1 is that they're playing as a team.
Right. They're gonna lose some games, but they're gonna
Oh,
be in a
absolutely.
hell of a lot of games. They're gonna be in a
Absolutely.
lot of games that you didn't think they would be in this year.
Absolutely. So let's break down the scores. So you had we talked the Lions Chiefs, that was 21-20. We had the Saints Titans 16-15. Derek Carr in that one looked like Derek Carr. But man,
But man,
I
what's his face there? The Tennessee's quarterback looked fucking awful.
yeah, oh
Oh
yeah,
my god.
Tannehill. Oh, it's so bad.
And then
So bad.
here we get one of the greatest highlights ever of Derrick Henry freaking just doing an an Madden impression of just freaking boom, drops a guy. He pushes a guy like 4 yards away from him.
If you don't
Unreal.
watch football, go and but you're into like rugby
Yeah.
or those types of sports,
Just
right?
go watch Derrick Henry
Go
highlights.
watch Derrick Henry clips.
Yep.
You're good. Imagine Derrick Henry in rugby. That'd be nuts.
I don't think there'd be anybody that want to try to tackle the guy.
Them fuck freaks on that rugby field. Hell yeah, they would.
Right.
So, anywho, the one thing I took, which has nothing to do with football at all, but Derek Carr is going to flourish in the city of New Orleans. That fucking city and him are going to click, and Derek Carr is literally their next Drew Brees. And I'm not saying that talent-wise, I'm just saying that for the love of a city.
The love of the city.
So you had the Buccaneers Vikings, and the Bucks pulled that one out. Baker Mayfield did not look bad. There was a couple moments that head coaching had me scratching, but Baker Mayfield didn't look too bad.
Was the Vikings offense like turning the ball over, and they've got the
we
Vikings
could
have
rely
no
on Kirk Cousins to destroy the Vikings.
the Vikings have no run game. They have a 0 run game. I think they had 20 yards rushing.
Yeah.
It was pathetic.
It's going to be a tough season for the Vikings. It is going to be a tough season for the Vikings. It's going to be a tough season for the Bears. I think the NFC North comes down to the Packers Lions.
Yeah, I believe so.
Really do. And I was not saying that 2 weeks ago. I was hoping and praying 2 weeks ago, but I was not saying that.
And we got everything that we wanted and we hoped for when we talked Brock Purdy up. And Brock Purdy was absolutely phenomenal.
And we're really, oh my God, was he? Are you kidding? Like, at one point, I went back into the fantasy to see if he was still sitting on the free agency. I'm like,
not so much his brother Chubba, though, in the Nebraska game.
Oh my God.
That highlight has got people fucking losing it, where they call his brother in there. Chubba's one of the better, he's their best passing quarterback, and he gets in there and he throws a duck. It was like, apparently Nebraska's got nobody can throw the fucking football then.
Oh my God. No. And Nebraska has been bad and will continue to be bad forever. There is no end in sight. Nothing that I've seen from Nebraska is telling me, oh, they're a couple years away.
So Charles,
y'all are in trouble.
Apparently somebody didn't tell the Cardinals that they're supposed to fucking lose because they almost fucking won that football game versus the Commanders.
And that one's coming up next. Commanders Cardinals 2016. And the fucking crazy thing about this entire game, right, is that Washington's defense pulled out a 20 banger in fantasy last week.
Yeah. Props to, we're gonna go over our whole fantasy breakdown too. The fact that I just got fucking steamrolled by Joey's 2 players on Joey's team pretty much had as many points as I did.
That's crazy. So you had the Bengals Browns, which was that was the game that blew me away, to be honest with you. I did not see Joe Burrow getting 82 yards. I watched Jamar Chase. I played against Jamar Chase. Nothing. That dude didn't make 8 fucking points. Oh my God.
T. Higgins. I had T. Higgins. He didn't even get a catch. Neither did Drake London. Like 2 guys that are number ones on, not T. Higgins is a number 2, but still 2 players. Come on.
So yeah, 49ers beat the Steelers 30-7. Browns beat the hell out of the Bengals. And I'm telling you right now, if the Bengals don't get that offensive line figured out, they can't run the ball and they can't pass the ball. The Bengals are over.
Pressure. Yeah.
But I do remember this time last year, for about 4 or 5 weeks into the season, Cincinnati was not the team they were last year. And Cincinnati ended up doing just fine, even with the Damar Hamlin incident that really caused waves throughout not only the NFL players themselves, but the scheduling and the playoff implications.
Look at their schedule, though. Their schedule is pretty brutal. So they got to get their shit together at some point.
So yeah, the Falcons beat the Panthers 24-10. Bryce Young struggled, 2 interceptions. He does not have Alabama's run game to get him out. He is going to have to be smarter with the ball.
So
this is going to be a tough season.
Charles, here's the big thing. Odell, is he in or out?
Odell's in.
Odell's in.
Odell's in. We'll talk about this.
He only had 4 points.
I know, but that's 2 more points than McKinnon, who was banked on 12.
You said he's on a short leash. I guess he's on a or he's got a much longer leash than I thought he did.
Yeah, I'm looking to get rid of McKinnon already. We'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anywho, Bryce Young, he's going to have to be smarter with the ball. I can tell you right now, at the end of the season, I think Anthony Richardson's going to have a much better season than Bryce Young. Yeah, and that bodes real well for all of these fancy little Anthony Richardson.
Did you see him get rocked though? Man, he took a hit.
Oh yeah. I can also. Richardson needs to stop because he ended up. It was just like watching the Alabama quarterback by the end of the
Is that
game. You
you know,
gotta, you still got to look to throw the ball. You can't just snap it and then fucking look to run. You're going to get
whose
smoked.
fault is that? When you don't teach an NFL quarterback that you can't play the same way that you did in college, you'd be like, dude, these NFL guys, every one of them will take your head off if you don't
Yeah.
watch your ass.
They can't be that. I don't know.
Is it the offensive coordinator? Is it the
Honestly,
quarterback's
I think
coach?
it's just
No,
that the NFL game moves so fast that they
you just don't.
revert
They
back
just
to
can't. They
muscle
can't think
memory,
that quick. Yeah,
and they haven't created the muscle memory yet they need. Yeah, I just think the NFL game is that fast. I
dude,
really
you
do.
could see it in the Packer game that Stroud. Barry must have came up with a few different blitz packages and different looks and stuff because they had Quay Walker backed up as a linebacker, but he was playing off the defensive end like he was going to be rolling out in coverage. And that's when he picked that ball off. And it
Right.
was like, dude, Stroud had no fucking idea what Walker was going to do on that play. He was like, what the fuck just happened?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
dude, it was so bad. And Fields looked the entire time
Scared. He was like, oh, he
at
was running scared the whole time.
by the third quarter, he just looked at one receiver. He looked at one part of the field. If he ran in there, it was like,
Yeah.
oh my. There was a lot of that in week one, though. And a lot of it came in week one from quarterbacks and players who had coaches who didn't play them any series at all in the preseason.
Yeah. Look at the teams that have good defenses and put pressure on the other team's quarterback and look at the other team's quarterback's production
Jalen
because
Hurts picking up
yeah,
12 fucking points. Are you kidding? Mac Jones outplayed Jalen Hurts.
oh yeah,
And
he
if it
did. Yeah.
wasn't for the pick six, that again, just like fucking Pat Mahomes, that ball hit the wide receiver's hands. It just bounced off the hands and went right to a fucking defender, right where it should be.
Right, Charles, they talked about this on I think it was Bussin' with the Boys too, like, they had a little, like, precursor as I think it was a live episode or something, they were talking about it. Miami is gonna have to outscore teams because that defense is not good.
That defense is
They
not good.
barely beat the
No.
Chargers, and I was like,
No, I think a lot of Miami's games and looking
the
at it, yeah,
shootouts.
36-34. I think it's going to come down to throwing an interception or not.
Yeah, and he's
I
gotta
think, and
stay
you'll,
healthy. No
yep,
concussions.
yeah, he'll use that jujitsu to get out of those concussions for
That's
sure.
what they were saying. They're like, dude can do stand there and do a backflip with pads on. That's
It's
wild to me. I
insane.
can't even
It's insane. But I think if Tua has 8 or more interceptions, they lose 4 or more games. If
yeah.
Tua has 5 or less interceptions, you don't want to play them in the playoffs.
No, you can't be giving the ball away. Like, they gotta hold on to it. They have to score basically every time they have the
Yeah,
ball, otherwise
because their defense is not going to do well.
it's not
That,
yeah.
yeah.
That's what I
Ravens,
say, yeah.
Ravens against the Texans. Ravens put up 25. J.K. Dobbins out for the season.
Yeah, that's the killer right there. Like, I was talking to Adam, like, Adam has him he doesn't have him in our fantasy league, but he has him in his other league, and he's yeah, dude, great news at the beginning of the season. I just get news that he's out
Yeah.
for the year. I'm like, yeah, that sucks.
Again, too. He got
Dude,
hurt last season.
did you see that Conklin, the Cleveland offensive lineman, the all pro, he's done for the year. He tore his
he?
ACL, MCL.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that sucks for me because that's Nick Chubb's freaking right
Go-to
guard or
guy,
left
yeah.
tackle. Yeah, I was like, man, that
Yeah.
sucks.
Yep.
Great.
And then you had the Jaguars on the Colts and Trevor Lawrence with Calvin Ridley. Anybody who picked up Calvin Ridley right now is
Just won the lottery.
sitting in fucking gold. That, oh my gosh. He's going to get 2 touchdowns a game, I promise you. And that doesn't include the fucking yards. He's looking at 14, 15 points walking onto the fucking pitch.
Yeah. EDN is healthy. The whole team is basically healthy. As long as they can stay healthy, I think they'll be all right.
They need to figure out their defense a little bit. But honestly, Richardson really is an athletic freak.
Yeah.
And it opened up quite a few holes, and Anthony was able to take care of it. So it'll be fun to watch him. It will be. We already talked Packers, Bears, Eagles, Patriots. That was just a wild game. Shitty weather. Patriots play hard. Bill Belichick plays hard. It feels like Billy is playing for his.
They had Brady come back out with the jersey on the field too. He ran out there with the jersey on.
Yeah, it was, and they still couldn't. All that smoke, and the Eagles still took him out. That defense again, though. This is another one of those that pick 6 doesn't happen, and the ball hit the wide receiver. It did what it was supposed to do.
Right.
That pick 6 doesn't happen. The Eagles don't win that game. And then you had the Rams smoke the Seahawks
Extremely
without fucking Cooper Kupp.
I said extremely surprised by that score because I thought Geno Smith and them would ball out. I thought
How
for
many
sure
how many
DK
yards
and
Matt Stafford get? 343. He is
yeah,
number
he's back.
2 in the league right now.
Yeah, back to the old freaking Matty Ice or not
Everybody,
Matty Ice, Matty Stafford or whatever you call
Matty Stafford.
Matty Ice.
You know, and
Matty
I'm
Ice.
just laughing too. We do live in a geographical region on where we would hear a whole bunch about Matt Stafford and now
Oh,
a
yeah.
whole bunch about fucking Jared Goff. And when Matt Stafford left, it was weird. We win. And then when Matty won the Super Bowl, it was like, well, he's my guy. We won the Super Bowl. And now Jared Goff's playing okay. And Matt was hurt last year. We definitely won that. Do you think the Rams would trade straight up Matt Stafford for fucking Jared Goff back? You started hearing
Well,
bullshit
they traded
like
him
that.
for a Super Bowl and they won it. So
And now let's not forget the NFL. Coaching matters in the NFL. It does. And Sean McVay is a pretty good fucking head coach.
yeah, I would say so.
The
I
Rams
agree.
are lucky he came back. So then we had Raiders, Broncos. Let's ride. Let's ride. Let's ride. Should have kissed one less baby on that one.
No.
Although I do think the Broncos missed an extra point. Is that the story we're talking here? Yeah.
I think so.
And then the Cowboys smashed the Giants 40-0, and CD Lamb didn't even hit 17.7 points. All he had to do was do him, and I win, which I shouldn't have won regardless, but it came close. All he had to do was do him, and I would have won, but I lost by 5 points.
Can we talk about one more thing in the Packer game that nobody's mentioning? The fact that Carlson's kick, they said would have been good from 70 plus.
Yeah.
That kick that he drilled before halftime. Dude, they said that thing was at the top of the uprights and it from 52. And everybody here you go, Packer fans. You guys are ragging on this guy all preseason, and this dude drills one of the deadest,
most
straightest
majestic
kicks
fucking
you'll
ever see at Soldier Field in a place where Robbie Gould built.
Yeah.
Like,
you'd be surprised over the years if he continues to be a Packer and he sticks around, he has a successful career, that dude's going to drill some big kicks.
Oh, yeah. As long as he makes his extra points and he makes more than he misses inside 40, Green Bay will keep him. Like what we did with Mason Crosby, ended up going on a tear. But the only reason he went on a tear is because I think he was being paid peanuts that year, and the only way he was going to get a steak was every time he made a kick, he got a bonus.
Yeah.
And he figured it out from there. I agree. I'm
excited. He hashed it out the right way.
I think special teams needs help. We were giving up way too many ridiculous chunk yards on kicks, kickoffs, and punt returns that made almost no sense to me.
Yeah, kicked one out of bounds. And
it got to a point where I was like, punter, dude, just put this in the back of the end zone. Seriously, just put it in the back of the end zone because they're going to be on the 30 or 35 if you don't.
And here's the thing. I know Reed is a weapon as a punt returner, but you guys need him as a receiver. Just find somebody else to return punts. Like he's going to
get Nixon back there. Put Nixon back there.
Yeah, he's going to get smacked.
Nixon deserves it. He can. I don't know what the fuck's up with. I don't care if Reed's faster. The dude's a beanpole in his first fucking year. And he came from Michigan State, all right? He didn't come from one of the Big Ten schools or one of the big SEC schools. You're going to have to give him a little love.
J-Love. #.
Yeah. No pun intended. And then we've got the Bills versus the Divas, or I'm sorry, the Packers, the AFC East, the Jets.
Let's do a little pregame on this because I've got a few things that I've got to say about this game. Just off the top of my head, I can see Aaron Rodgers going 3-0 to start this game, looking around, looking at the freaking bench, looking up at the freaking booth, having the little headset on, looking at the iPad, and freaking being completely disgusted if they don't score on the first drive. I'm just saying, I can see this on the sideline, them going to Aaron and Aaron doing that and him looking disgusted because he thought he has something. And we're going to see it. We're going to find out. I don't know. I don't know.
Until proven otherwise. No, I agree. I agree with you. Because until proven otherwise, the Bills defense
still top 10.
It's still good.
Yeah,
it's still
top
really,
5
really
defense.
Good. And last year you heard quite often, if the Jets could just score, they would be fine. Yeah, that's the fucking point of the NFL. You have to score to win games. But then it broke more down into if they had a quarterback that was hitting these wide open wide receivers. And they were blaming it a lot on the quarterback. And the thing to fucking watch in this game is that offensive line. I don't
Right.
care who you are. For one, Aaron Rodgers is not as mobile as Zach Wilson. Aaron Rodgers is more accurate, yeah, but he's not as mobile. That offensive line is going to be put on fucking blast tonight.
Sure.
Really all season.
Well,
I don't
that's
think
the
go ahead.
well, no, that's the thing too. Like they're gonna be they're gonna have a bullet, a big old, target on their back. Like the bullet's coming.
Yeah.
Like people
Oh
are
yeah.
shooting for you,
And this is
guaranteed.
and he's on a young team in New
No.
York. They're going to open their mouth if this man too old to play.
Well, and look at frickin' you just said it, dude. Frickin' Miles Garrett and that frickin' Cleveland defense, they can get after the quarterback.
You know
So
how
and
many games Aaron Rodgers
Aaron,
had 300 passing yards last season?
none.
Zero. Fucking zero. Do you know how many opening drive touchdowns Green Bay had last season? One.
And
Do you know
guess
how
how
many
many
we
they
have
had?
this season?
One.
One. We have just as many this fucking season as we did all last season. Now,
Right.
okay, the Christian Watson dropped pass could have been an opening drive touchdown. So let's give him two.
Right. Yeah.
Let's give him two. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Here's the thing too. I think a lot of Packer fans were extremely not looking forward to the fact that they didn't have Watson, but I think once that they seen how that they were going to call the offense, they were like, okay, because guess what? We didn't see the best of their tight ends. We didn't see the best of Musgrave and those guys.
No.
So.
And do you there was even the father-in-law even mentioned it too. Watching that game, seeing how many people were getting thrown the ball, how many
Yeah.
different plays were being created. You didn't, I tell you what, if your name wasn't Devontae Adams or Alan Lazard or Randall Cobb, you didn't really catch many balls.
Yeah. Here's one that I really don't understand, and people are like, it's over the blogs and stuff, the Packer blogs and the Packer Facebook pages, the ragging on AJ Dillon. Like, it's gotten to a point where it's
Yeah.
like people are freaking, they don't understand football. You do realize when
No.
AJ Dillon comes in there, he's not asked to go outside, he's asked to go run up the middle. And half the time, AJ's a big dude. That hole is only like this wide. And guess what? Aaron Jones
Yeah.
freaking gets through there and he freaking makes himself fit.
I'm telling you right now, the smoke on AJ Dillon is ridiculous.
It is.
It's
freaking
ridiculous.
heat
That
check
dude,
AJ
I
Dillon.
mean, now what I can say though is that dude needs to run like he was running in the third quarter the whole fucking game.
You brought this
He needs
up.
to be the truck that he's supposed to be, and I
Charles,
was starting to see it in the third quarter.
you brought this up though before. You remember seeing him at Boston College, and you brought this up to me, and you said the dude was bowling over people in
Yeah.
college, like he was running through people. Granted, that's a different talent level. The NFL is different, but you don't call yourself fucking Quadzilla and then go out there and
Yeah.
fall over like a tree.
Yeah, because the first half of the game, the smoke isn't, it's warranted, but it's not necessary, right?
It's not. AJ Dillon is a great person. He's a great teammate,
He
great
really
human
is.
being. He absolutely is going
He's
to.
a really good football player.
Yes, he's going to score touchdowns. The fact is that Packer fans are so freaking dedicated and so loyal, and they want to win so bad. They're so passionate, but they're passionate to their own detriment. And their own detriment sometimes is the
We
fact
just
that
want to see people being
they-
trucked over like Amon Green used to be
yeah,
trucking
they,
bitches
they,
over.
they want, they're expecting Derrick Henry, and it's AJ Dillon. You're not
Yeah.
going to get that. AJ Dillon is going to just freaking try to get the first.
If we can try to
That's it.
remember things like Eddie Lacy and fucking who was before Eddie Lacy, even, you know what I'm saying? I think we had Jones back there for a bit who
Yeah.
rocked shit out, but like running back hasn't been a Green Bay thing. So the fact that we have what we have is just phenomenal.
We've
You
always
want
had
two of them? God,
we've always
damn.
had a mediocre back. We had Edgar Bennett. We had who's the not Franks? Who's the number 44 or whatever? I think he was back in the day.
Yeah.
I think he ended up going somewhere and getting a big contract. But I think one of them went to the Bears. I think at one point.
It's just fuck for 30 years. It's been a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's just what it's been. This is going to be fun to watch. Some of those plays I was watching Matt drop out, that fucking fake ass play action screen pass from one side of the field to the other. Damn. What a play, man. and it didn't take no whoop. It was like a trick play in your face, man. It was just nice to see. Let's break into I agree with you though, dude. I do on the Aaron Rodgers thing. I think it's going to be, I really do. I think he's in for hell because he should have fucking checked the real estate on that beachfront property via the offensive line. He's in trouble.
I do have breaking news. Hold on, I'll bring it up here. Coming up Tuesday, not this Tuesday, but what day is that?
Oh shit.
Tuesday the 19th, we will have the ever so Wisconsin famous Quick Trip girl will be on the podcast. And if you don't know who this is, yes, if you don't know who this Quick Trip girl is, she is trying to make the rounds to be first person to go to all the Quick Trips, and I believe she has successfully done this. She's been on quite a few podcasts, like locally, Wisconsin. She's been on the Matt Ramage show, which we are friends of the show. We're friends of Matt Ramage, even though I have called him names before and said mean things. But I'm assuming he knows this is a comedy podcast and it's all in good faith and good humor. So
if not, you just found out now, Matt.
Yes, you just found out.
Yep. If I don't have your number, I don't have a problem with you. That's the story. I try to tell everyone, if you don't have my number, you don't have the problem with me you think you do. And it's the same thing, vice versa. But anyways, fucking sweet. Super excited. Quick Trip. I got lots of Quick Trip answers. We got a Quick Trip going in just up the road, another one.
Right?
There's 3 around me. There's more Quick Trips than 5. It's like the Dollar Generals at goddamn Upper Peninsula.
No, I gotta tell her. I gotta tell her the Quick Trip story. She said she wants to hear the Quick Trip story about the old guy in front of me, and I said, "This is just BS. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it at all." Like,
you went off on old people that episode.
I did. I went off on old people that day, and I was just like, I just had one of those days.
I was all on board. Even some of the things, I was like, God damn, I can't say that.
It's comedy. Like we just.
It worked out really well. It was funny.
I mean, I don't understand. We've never said anything that's like extremely like off the wall. It's gonna hurt anybody's
Oh my God, yeah. Trust me, sit down at a dinner table with me. Sit down or with us. Oh my God. Talk to us in real life.
Right. You guys want to feel the heat? Ooh, she's coming.
I am kind. Well, that's what we'll say. I am kind. Before we get into college football, because there's a few things we do want to chit chat about in college football. Let's go over the National Football League Week 2. Vikings at Eagles Thursday, Amazon Prime. I guess that one's going to be on Amazon Prime now. Hopefully not just Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I don't know what that one either, but
so we have, and then we've got. Oh, go ahead.
No, just go ahead. Just do go ahead with
Packers at Falcons, and Green Bay's favored to win. We've got the Colts at Texans. Houston's favored to win on that. I can't tell you the last time I've seen Houston favored to win. So
no, it's been a while. It's been a
and this is going to be a fun game. Anthony Richardson versus Bryce Young, 1v2.
Yeah, get her.
So you're going to hear a lot of schmuck about that. You've got the Seahawks at the Lions. Detroit is favored to win that one. I think that's a catch game. Careful.
I think that's
the Seahawks winning that game. To me,
that's a toss-up. Yeah, it's a toss-up to me. Yep. I think that's 50-50 who's going to win that game.
Geno Smith did not play well, but
no, they're going to be pissed.
Aaron Donald had a hell of a lot to do with that, and I'm thinking that Adrian Hutchinson might do the same thing. And if that's the case, then Lions walk away with that game because Adrian Hutchinson is all of Aaron Donald. He's just
freaking. That Hutch card that we got coming. That's going to be freaking. It's getting PSA'd, man. That's our card. That's the Boys in the Woods freaking logo card. That's.
And mentioning that the Deion Sanders Snakeskin card just showed up too. Nice. I got fucking stacked. I was stoked, and I got the okay to go back. So nice. I'm even more stoked. Yeah. So Seahawks Lions, be careful on that one. Chargers Titans. Chargers favored to win that one. Raiders Bills. Buffalo favored. Chiefs Jaguars. Chiefs favored. Ravens Bengals. Cincy's still favored, and I think that's a mistake. I think that's going to change hard. I don't know if Cincy's offensive line wakes up from whatever fucking dream they're in by week 2, but I doubt it.
Honestly, I think it's just the big run hit that they took.
Yeah,
they're going to be one. They're going to be one-dimensional. Yeah. In so Houston, it's hard to tell how good Baltimore is because Houston is terrible.
So I don't think we'll see the Bears favored again the rest of the season. They were favored to beat the Packers and got smoked, but the Bears at Bucks, and the Buccaneers are favored there.
So now you want to change that. Hey, you want to change that to the Bears are going to be fighting for the number 1 pick for the
God
second
dang,
year.
if what they put on the thing, hell
If
yeah.
that's yeah.
Washington and the Cardinals don't even gotta, if they don't show up to work, they'll get the number 1 draft pick. But if anybody shows up to work, it's going to the Bears.
Hey man, when you said they're fighting for the number 1 overall draft pick, they both gave her hell towards the end. It was
damn right they did.
They were like,
more than the ni hao.
Yeah.
What was it? Ni hao ma, Wohemba, Gudabay. Well, the guy doesn't know about Wohemba.
Yeah.
He probably knows about Wohemba now.
exactly.
We're getting more listeners out there.
Yeah. Multicultural.
So we've got 49ers at Rams. 49ers have got to be favored, but I don't know. It's a test for Brock Purdy. I think that'll be a test for Brock Purdy because if that defense that
LA is
shows
a
up
lot
against,
better than they were last year. Yeah.
Yep. And the defense is healthy. I think we were forgetting a lot about that too. How many hits the Rams took just in health. Hell, but I think by the end of the season, they had third and practice squad players starting in roles they shouldn't have been starting in. So
but San Francisco is just so freaking.
They're so good. That defense was unreal.
Well, that and they're just so balanced on like between their run game and then they got guys that can just come out of the backfield and just catch balls. They got juice check. Like seriously,
watching the
49ers,
watching the 49ers, bro, I was like, I'm really glad we're not picked to go to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, because they would just.
I don't know. The 49ers are going to the Super Bowl this
year. The 49ers have the Packers number regardless of who is behind center.
Hey, wait a minute now. Listen, Brock Purdy ain't running like Colin Kaepernick. All right? We might have a chance.
But it's always that defense that kills the Packers. It's not their offense. It's like they just can't put it away.
So you've got
they should have had him that one year. Wasn't it the punt that they had to punt? They couldn't make the first down. They had to punt and they gave the ball back and then they lost the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Everybody that kills everybody every time you bring it up.
So here we go. Giants at Cardinals with no one favored yet. The line is not out due to the beatdown the Cowboys put on the Giants.
Did you happen to watch like the first 5-6 minutes of that game?
No, I was praying. In my room that CeeDee Lamb was catching 2 touchdowns.
Dude, they made the Cowboys look like they'll never lose a football game. Yeah. The way that the Giants came out and played, they turned the ball over, fumbles.
Yeah.
Good.
7 sacks.
Yeah.
7 sacks.
And granted, the Cowboys did do quite a bit to upgrade that defense, so props to them. So
the addition of Stephon Gilmore is huge.
Yeah.
You don't just throw away from Trevon Diggs anymore.
And I think they had a linebacker that was like an all-pro, and I think they re-signed him to a big deal too. So he's playing on a contract that he knows he's worth it, so he's definitely happy.
And then, of course, there is always Micah Parsons.
But for God's sakes, there's still the Dak factor, and I'm like, oh man.
Oh yeah. Dacky boy gonna be throwing them interceptions. It don't matter.
If we see Trey Lance this year in the Cowboys jersey, I'm gonna buy one because I just think it'd be the funniest.
I'm telling you
ever.
what, he threw the second most interceptions and only played like 13 games. That's really hard to do in the NFL.
Yeah.
As a starting quarterback, it's obviously not hard to do in the fucking NFL. I could do it.
Yeah,
I promise you, I could throw 20 and 13.
He's not going to stop throwing those. He's not going to stop throwing the ball downfield. So he's going to throw a few.
Mike McCarthy really is, if nothing at all, an offensive genius. His head coaching calls are questionable. His defensive head coaching calls are questionable, and along with special teams head coaching calls are questionable. But offensively, I've never seen a problem with Mike McCarthy, and we might see it this year.
Yeah.
So then you've got the Jets at Cowboys. Dallas favored to win that one. And Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be facing that Cowboys defense with the Green Bay offensive line, because that's something, and you're hearing quite a few analysts talk about it. You're going to hear it all fucking season long, as long as
we're going to find out tonight. We are going to find out tonight how good that offensive line is for the New York Jets.
Green Bay's offensive line is a top 5 NFL offensive line. And a couple of these defenses are we're going to find out how great they are when they come up against those types of offensive lines. I'm excited for this. You've got the Commanders at Broncos. Denver is favored to win that one. Looks like a CBS special. but I'm not sure which one we're going to get on CBS. I'm not sure if we're going to get the Cowboys Jets or the
Probably
Broncos
the
Commanders. And I'm
I'm
hoping for
assuming
Cowboys Jets.
I'm assuming we're gonna get the Cowboys Jets because of the Aaron Rodgers thing in the Midwest following for Aaron Rodgers. It just makes more sense.
So then
But
you've got Dolphins at the Patriots. Dolphins are favored to win that one.
right.
And then we get the two banger on Monday night. We're going 2 games on Monday night, starting week 2. Saints at Panthers at 6:15, and then shortly after that, Browns at Steelers,
I think
7:15.
that should be a good game. Browns,
New
Steelers
Orleans
should be a good
favored
game.
to win theirs, and Pittsburgh's favored to win theirs. Although, I don't know.
Dude, Pickett did not look good.
No, he did not.
Pickens.
And I was thinking about that sweet Facebook post, which was a joke, by the way, now that week 1 is well past. It was a joke when I was saying, man, Pickett to Pickens is going to be great this year. Fuck that. Pickens ain't got no problem. Pickett just can't throw the fucking ball.
If the Steeler Nation is going to be the one place that you're not going to want to suck because they're going to freaking bench your ass because they put up with Big Ben for a long time being able. But guess what? He produced. So if you don't produce.
Although I did have a flashback to Big Ben when Steelers Nation was sending their punter out. Like, I was like, holy fuck, that dude looks like Big Ben from up here. God damn. Somebody check the DNA in that motherfucker. That might be Big Ben. Have we even heard from him since he left? Where'd he go? Maybe he's the punter for the Pittsburgh Steelers now.
Did you see the
dude might be
did you see did you see the Cincinnati rookie from the Michigan Wolverine, Brad Robbins introduction to the NFL? 6 or 7 straight punts for Cincinnati. He plays he's the Bengals like punter.
Yeah.
Dude,
we had a couple really nice Michigan had a couple really nice standout players. Obviously, fucking Hutchinson did his thing.
I started Moody.
Moody coming in hot. David Ajabu came. Yeah, he had a
sack strip fumble.
Yeah, he was doing well. Michigan's got some heat coming out the door.
Oh, and Gary was out there.
Yeah, Michigan Gary rocking. Michigan football week 3.
Yeah, this is going to be a week for college football. It's not make or break because a lot of these teams are playing weaker opponents now. Like the week 3 is usually just before it gets into conference play. So for a lot of teams, this is their last week of, hey, if anything's wrong, fucking fix it because next week is the big show.
Why is it not pulling up the Michigan football schedule? That's crazy.
Anyway, they play Bowling Green, so
Bowling Green. Thank you. Yeah. God damn, it's right here now. Finally.
Yeah, they're only 40-point favorites, so hopefully they don't.
Bowling Green on the Big Ten Network. Okay, so I do want to touch base a little bit on Colorado, only because I've got to change my tune a little bit. I thought that they were going to get 3 to 5 wins this season.
Yeah, it's looking more around. It's looking more around.
Looks like they're going to be. I think they might end up with 5 or 6 losses on the season. I think I'm going to change my.
You think they're going to go
one
7
word in that
7 and 5? 7 and 5.
I think they're looking at 7 and 5. Honestly, I think they're 3 or 4 years away, or 2 or 3 years away from actually being in a discussion that they've earned.
We had this discussion, and now that the Michigan State thing has happened, there's a big push for Michigan State to make a push at Deion Sanders. And I'm like, he's under contract, but Michigan State's got the money. They could pull him away.
I can see Deion Sanders ending up at Michigan State in a few years.
Could you even imagine like the hype around him? Because it would be terrible for Michigan because that's the one thing they would do it for. They'd bring it in to bring the money just to spite them because they've had so many issues with Michigan. They wanted that pub.
Definitely. The product on the field, not the coach. The product on the field is entertaining. And throw in the coach.
I didn't have any problems with the game. I watched that entire Nebraska-Colorado game. There's
Which
2
is why
things.
I'm thinking this way. How many times can you sit down in the last 5 years and go, "Man, I watched that Nebraska game." I haven't even watched a full fucking Michigan destruction of Nebraska.
No, I thought when Nebraska scored that touchdown, it went to 14-7 or whatever,
Mhm.
17-7, whatever it was. Anyway, I thought now we got a game. Now we got a game going on here. The one
Yep.
thing I did as a big takeaway, I said it before, and I was like, Colorado's offensive line is terrible.
Oh,
Like
yeah. They're
he
gonna
was
get
sacked like
smashed by good teams. Don't get me
he was
wrong. They're
sacked
just
like 6 or 7 times by Nebraska. Dude,
yeah.
don't give me this smoke about Nebraska is got a good defense or Nebraska's good. Dude, Nebraska was picked like second to last in the Big Ten. Don't give me that shit about
Yeah.
Nebraska being a good
No.
football team. Come on.
I just
Nobody thought Nebraska
they're
would be a
gonna
good football
beat the
team this year.
bad teams. I thought they were worse than the bad teams. I don't know. I don't know why I thought that. I
I
do know why I thought that. There was nothing to say otherwise, other
right.
than people saying otherwise.
The hype train. You said it. The Kool-Aid man was there.
Kool-Aid man.
Kool-Aid.
I'm not
Kool-Aid.
drinking the fucking Kool-Aid, but I can tell you that they are good enough at this point, from what I've seen. They are good enough to beat the bad teams, but they are not anywhere close to beating the good teams. But I think they got a test coming up. I believe they play Oregon. So
They get next week or the week after, something like that.
yeah,
Hold on, let's pull it up here.
yeah, we don't need our fact checkers going crazy on this one because
So
we're talking
Oregon
about Kool-Aid and Deion Sanders.
So
So
Oregon plays Hawaii this week, and
okay,
God, they might put up 90. They play
yeah, as long as they
Colorado.
bounce back from that farce they put on the
Yes,
field last week,
Charles.
whatever the
They are
fuck
at
that was.
they are at home versus
I mean,
Colorado.
how many games are going to be in Hawaii?
Charles, what do you think the over under is as far as the matchup predictor? What percentage do they give Colorado to win that football game?
Hawaii?
Out of 100%, the matchup predictor.
Oh,
Let- let's
against
just say
who? Sorry.
Colorado week 4.
Oh, against Oregon. 11%.
9.5. It was at 4. It's up to 9.5%.
Wow.
They give them almost a 10% chance to beat Oregon. That's surprising. Here's the thing. If they struggled for quite a while to put up points against Nebraska, if they don't come out and ball out and put up points against Oregon, they're going to lose 52 to freaking 14.
I can see them putting at least 21 on Oregon, but they're not going to keep up with
Maybe.
Oregon.
Yeah.
They're not going to keep up with Oregon. They've got playmakers on that squad. That's why I think they're going to beat the bad teams I didn't think they were going to beat this year. And that's
Yeah.
as an armchair analyst, I'm just watching what I had no fucking tape before. Had no tape before.
Our first take on Colorado was negative. Like we were just going because we were sick of the hype. We're sick of hearing the
We are
Deion,
anti-Kool-Aid
Deion,
on
Deion,
this
Deion,
podcast.
Deion,
I can
Deion,
promise
Deion,
you
Deion,
that.
Deion, Deion,
Yeah,
Deion.
I
But
can
that's the
promise
thing.
you if we're one thing combined, it's
But hey,
anti-Kool-Aid on this.
if Deion is the
podcast.
hot headline, we're going to talk about Deion Sanders. We're going to
We
talk
got no
about
choice.
Colorado. We're going to bring it
We
up.
got no
We're
choice.
also going to
We
give
ain't
you
gonna
our
Fox
opinion.
Sports media the fuck out of them.
No.
Like God, no. Oh, hey, no.
We're going to give
I'm
you
pretty
about
sure they're getting
5
paid.
minutes.
I'm pretty sure they're
Yeah.
getting paid. But yeah, they're entertaining. And if you haven't watched them yet, watch them. They're entertaining.
Yeah.
If anything at all, Deion is always dressed fly on that sideline. So
Yeah,
it's better than what Hollywood's putting out. They're entertaining.
He is a good coach.
Yeah.
I'll give him all credit.
Oh,
in the world.
absolutely.
And
good
the
coach.
kids love him. He's an absolute freaking stud behind the sunglasses. And I told that guy, man, is like Colorado makes it to the national title. I'll let you come on the podcast and I'll buy you some Deion gear. I'll buy you some buffs.
If Colorado makes it to the national title game this year, I will get a buffalo tattooed on my fucking chest.
All right, two of us, both of us.
I promise that.
All right, you heard it here. This is going to be on the podcast for the freaking highlights for sure. Oh man,
Yeah,
a buffalo
you take
tattooed
that
on your
shit to
chest.
the fucking bank.
Take that to the tattoo party.
But otherwise, Ohio State is not looking like they are going to play Michigan very well this year. I can promise you that. Alabama is dead. But I didn't mean to interrupt the Ohio State thing. Jump on that trip.
The Ohio State thing is just, it's hard to say because Michigan has been a really good football team. The first year that they beat Ohio State, they started off a season similar to Ohio State. So
Yeah. I'm
Michigan's
not.
run game. Michigan's got some issues with the run game. So
I'm not thinking. I'm not thinking
ugh.
offensively. I'm not even thinking about it in an offensive mindset. I'm thinking about the troubles Ohio State is having on these subpar defenses right now. They're not the troubles the same troubles we're seeing from Michigan, and
No.
and Michigan's defense is. I'm telling you, we could be talking about this defense for a
Oh,
while.
these are freshman quarterback woes. What happens when Ohio State plays like a halfway decent defense? What if when they play Michigan State?
Yeah.
Michigan State, I hate to say it, Michigan State's defense is okay. It's
Ryan
terrible.
Day is in trouble. I can tell you that. I don't think Ryan Day makes it out of this season. I don't. I don't
Oh
see
no,
him
this
as
is
the
no,
head coach of Ohio State. He is the coaching decisions that have been made have been questionable at best. Most of the time, you just look at it and go, "Yeah, cool, keep it up, motherfucker." I'm a Michigan fan.
right?
It's just I don't want Tucker to be fired. He's a shitty coach. I want him to stay at Michigan State. Michigan State is worse because of Tucker.
Yeah.
But there ain't no way they're keeping him with this fucking Larry Nasser
Oh
shadow in
man.
the background.
No,
Shit.
but here's the thing. They're letting freaking D'Antonio come back in. Dude, all that stuff went down under his fucking watch, like all the sexual assault
Yeah.
charges. And you're
Yeah.
gonna bring the guy back in that it all happened
Oh, it's
underneath. Like
just
you
super
guys are a
quiet
bunch of
though. It's just super
pricks.
quiet.
Oh yeah.
It's just like Andy Reid going for it on 4th and 25 with 3 fucking timeouts. You ain't
He's
gonna
a
hear many people talk about that though either.
he's a gem, yeah.
Holy shit. But yeah, I could see many change. Actually, my way too early hot coaching take for
Yeah.
NFL and college. Ohio State's going to be looking for a new coach.
Oh yeah.
The
He's done.
Patriots are going to be looking for a new coach. And the New York Yankees are going to be looking for a new GM and head coach.
Here's the thing. Even if Ryan Day doesn't beat Michigan, or even if he does beat Michigan, but he loses 2 or 3 games, like he loses to Penn State, he loses that, he's gone.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
yeah.
gone.
Ryan cannot lose a game this year. It's national title or bust, and he's done.
Yeah.
And that's the case from what I'm seeing, and many other people except fucking ESPN. Surprise. Michigan is the better team. And we could be looking at a Michigan, Georgia, because I don't see anybody in the SEC taking out Georgia. I do not see Texas beating Georgia.
Here's the thing. What's with Georgia? That Georgia hasn't played anybody though. They haven't played
But their
anybody.
defense, I'm just basing it off of their defense. Georgia's defense is just
Well,
ridiculous.
they were. They got rid of a lot of guys got drafted. That's the kicker too. There's still a lot of rookies out there.
I guess you're not wrong, dude. We fuck Texas, Michigan as a national champion in that natty game.
But I hate to say this though, as an outside fan, from what I've seen from Florida State, they look pretty fucking good.
Florida State looks good, yeah.
And
It's real good.
But the thing is, the SEC, those guys they lose games that they shouldn't lose all the time in the SEC. Road games are tough in the SEC.
I mean, trust us. We know we Big Ten. We understand that. We understand it more in basketball than football. But damn,
how many times did Michigan go in ranked like 5th or 6th or 7th to a top 20 Penn State, and they have a whiteout and they freaking lose that game? They don't just lose that game; they lose bad because Penn State. Those teams get up for that, man.
Yeah.
Same thing with Michigan State. Michigan State has beat Michigan the year that Michigan 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Michigan State put a waxing on them. So
LSU bounces back and drops 70. That's funny. It is. We're getting into the appetizer of college football now.
Yeah.
Week 3 is about to come upon us and be done, and that's when it starts breaking into
once the meat of the schedule gets going on, that's when it gets good. That's when it gets real good.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I don't think we've got Bowling Green, then Rutgers, then at Nebraska, at Minnesota, Indiana, at Michigan State.
It really gets going the Michigan State week, the week before Michigan State, because that Minnesota might be a trap game.
It looks, and November every year makes or break our month, but November
that's when it's going to get testy.
At Penn State, at Maryland, and then Ohio State at home. And that Maryland game ain't no fucking walk in the park either. So.
No, anytime you go to another team's home stadium, especially when you got the bullseye on the back being the Big Ten champions, back-to-back Big Ten champs. The bullseye is there. Like these teams want to beat you. Back to back.
It does sound much better. Back to back Big Ten champs.
Big Ten
Can't wait.
champs.
Can't wait. Yeah. Beautiful moments wrapped up. I'm sorry I don't have a top 10 list for you, but what we can do real quick, actually, I don't have a top 10 list for you, but real quick, we'll go over the NFL league leaders real quick. Week 1 league leaders. Kirky Cousins coming in on top at Matt Stafford 334. Rushing yards. Oh, Christian McCaffrey. Woo.
Charles, what do those top 2 quarterbacks have in common? They're both 0-1.
They're both 0-1. Yeah, they are too. And they and actually, so just a fun little thing here. Right now, week 1 leaders: Kirk Cousins number 1, Matt Stafford number 2, Derek Carr number 3, Jared Goff number 4, Jordan Love number 5.
I'm going to call it right now. Josh Allen is going to be on top. Week 2.
Josh Allen tonight, yeah.
Yep.
The Jets defense is tough, but all right.
What's number 1? What does he got for yards? What does Allen got to put up tonight? So Allen's got to put up 345.
He's got to put up 345.
So he's got to Stephon Diggs has to have a 200-yard receiving game today for that to happen.
Hey, I love
Gabe
it.
Davis
I love it. Josh Allen's going to be on top week 1.
Dude,
it's going to push Jordan Love off. It's going to push Jordan Love out of the top 5.
Yeah, I'm expecting a huge game out of the new tight end.
Nice. So rushing yard leaders, Christian McCaffrey and Tyler Allegier. But a gap between those two is ridiculous. Christian McCaffrey's got 152 yards.
Yeah, 150 yards. Yeah. Here's the thing. That's
number 2 is 75.
I hope they don't have to rush.
Bro, he put that up against the Steelers.
Yeah, which is weird. Like
they've got a good defensive line and they've got a great front 7. The Steelers have a great front 7. That cannot be. TJ Watt, Christian McCaffrey put 152 on the Steelers. Who's stopping that motherfucker? Injury.
Himself, because because that's what always happens to him. He gets hurt. That's why I said I hope they don't rush him that many times. 15 should be the max.
As my number 1 draft pick, the only one who performed, I agree.
You did very well with that one.
25 points. Hell yeah. Good thing Jalen Hurts came in with fucking 12 while Mac Jones sat on 24.5. Receiving yard leaders.
I just want to show you my fantasy team just so that we can.
So while you're pulling that up, receiving yard leaders: Tyreek Hill, number 1, Justin Jefferson, number 2, Brandon Ayuk, number 3, Puka Naku, number 4, Tutu Atwell.
Plays each other next week. Who? You and I.
Oh, do we? Yeah, you're going down, bitch. We'll break into that this midweek. We'll do a fantasy episode this midweek because we never even got a chance to break down our fucking fantasy here.
No,
and we're approaching. But Tyreek Hill rocking number 1, bro. 215. Damn, you got smoked.
Oh no, yeah. That's not even the fun part about it.
Damn, you got smoked. Yeah, I lost 100 to 94 point something, but god damn,
dude. Wait till you see.
Damn.
Wait till you see the box scores.
Yeah, for those of you listening, midnight tonight, I'm making free agent changes. Be careful. Why?
So we had a lot of. So this is where she got a little squirrely this week. So a few guys performed, and then obviously we got when you get 2 guys and you get 0 points.
0. Yeah.
2 blanks, and then the Steelers defense completely let me down. But there's Moody.
How the fuck did DK Metcalf end up with 0?
No. DK Metcalf. Where's this? No, he's got DK Metcalf.
Oh, okay,
this is T. Higgins.
Yeah.
His stats are over here.
Yeah. I was gonna say DK went off. The Cowboys defense too. What did he get? 35 points?
Yeah.
You know what? Good. Blow all that shit week 1, player.
but here's the kicker, Charles. Dak Prescott, they won 40-0. He had 6 fantasy points.
Bro, dude, fucking Cowboys put up a 40 burger, and CD Lamb didn't even get 12 points.
Dude, it's because their
Their
freaking defense scored
defense.
all their points.
Their
Yeah.
fucking defense. Look at that 40 points. No, look where they are on the offensive side of things.
Well, see,
Not a
that's the
single person is on the top 5 fucking leaderboard.
that's the kicker. Everybody's, oh man, the Cowboys are gonna be good. I'm like, dude, you realize the Giants don't even have a top 20 defense.
No.
Don't worry about it. Like
Tyreek Hill put up 215 yards. Tyreek Hill, 215 receiving yards. And number 2 is 150 rushing yards. That's Justin Jefferson.
yeah, I'm pissed. Like he freaking Tua needs to stop throwing the ball to freaking Tyreek Hill.
TJ Watt is a sack leader right now. He's tied for first with Drake Jackson with 3.
That's crazy.
Jesse Bates leads the interceptions with 2. Brian Banch and the following all have 1. Brian Banch, Amani Hooker, Paulson, Adebayo, and Charvarius Ward. And then tackles. The name on the list actually surprised me. Bobby Wagner is leading the league right now with 19 tackles. Old man Bobby.
Yeah, he's been around.
Yeah. And then you've got Raquan Smith, 16, TJ Edwards, 14, Javon Holland, 14, Devin White, 12.
Does Devin White play for the Patriots?
I think that he's got a red jersey on. I think the Chiefs.
Oh, Devin White.
Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Bucks.
The old Buccaneers. So yeah, it was an exciting week 1. I loved it. I'm stoked. We're wrapping it up tonight with the Bills beating the fuck out of the Jets.
What's your prediction? Come on, give it to us.
Bills 24, Jets 10. I can see 24-10.
Right. I'm going to go Bills 27, Jets 13.
Nice. Until then, we've got Quickie Trip coming up and many other things. It's another new exciting month. We'll have the month-long listeners. Singapore has been doing great. I'm sure I'll be learning some more Chinese Mandarin. So from the meantime, ni hao ma, wo hen ba, goodbye.